Okay, I want to talk about something. In World Chat, right? Someone was asking advice on how to clear the Immortal Repertoire Act 2, right? They have Lynn as their main DPS on one team, and then Lisbell on the second, and they were asking advice on how to clear Act 2. I suggested that they use Truffle as the main DPS because they're using Truffle as a support for Lisbell. And then this guy was talking shit about how I'm stupid building a support as main DPS. And I have to like fucking explain to him like I'm in Twitter just to make this guy understand that Truffle as a DPS is actually what is actually possible. I know that she's not that good in Immortal Repertoire, but like it's only the Featured Repertoire, which is like just the second part, not the infinite one. And then he even called my advice garbage. And his advice, right, is to build Outsider. I know Outsider is good and can go through Immortal Repertoire, but like, you don't need to do that. You can just use what? Truffle as main DPS until you reach the Immortal Repertoire. Because like this guy, which was the one asking for advice, wants to get Psyche. That's why he wants to clear the Immersive Theatre. So I gave him advice on just using Truffle as the main DPS. Right? But holy, I can't tell if he's just like what, trolling or just rage baiting me. Or if he's actually a real person. Like, look at this. His logic just doesn't make any sense. I told him that Featured Repertoire is easy enough that you can use Truffle as a temporary DPS. And I said there's no... it doesn't cost you anything to build DPS wedges for Truffle because all anemo characters can use them. So if you build Truffle as DPS, and then once you get Psyche, you can just move those wedges to Psyche. And then you can have Truffle as support. And like, look. They share literally bots and blah blah blah. They share wedges, so does Outsider. But then, the guy that was asking advice has not built Outsider. But Truffle is already built because he's using her as a support for one of his team. And then he said, then use her as support. Bro, +1/+1. Bro, does he not know that fucking support Truffle does not use her ult? That's literally where Truffle's damage is. That's literally what I said. And then he goes into like a mental gymnastics. Yeah, build Daphne as DPS as well. Brother, I never mentioned Daphne. Man, this guy with his trouble. Why not Daphne then? He is just generalizing everything. Just because Truffle as a support can work as a DPS doesn't mean that everyone that's a support can work as a DPS. This guy's brain is just something else. You can use her as support, can be DPS, has the same wedges, and the others doesn't? Brother! Even they're fucking... Oh my god, this hurts my brain. This is where I was losing it. Literally. And then he says, Truffle DPS Immortal clear, let's go. I never mentioned anything about Truffle being able to clear the Immortal Repertoire. I only gave him advice on what he's currently struggling in, which is the Featured Repertoire. Or a Repertoire, I can't... Look, he's even shitting on the guy asking for advice. He struggled clearing with Lisbell. I know Lisbell can clear and she has like what? Great DPS, but literally because of how the Immersive Theatre is built, or like the buffs, Man, even Truffle can out DPS Lisbell because of how it's made. This guy is stupid. I can prove it as well. Here, use my Truffle, level 70. Skills, not fully built. Demon wedges, I'm gonna slot her with no demon wedges because just to make it fair, because I'm trial level 60, I get a lot of buffs, attack, blah blah blah. I'm gonna use her without any demon wedges and clear the Featured Repertoire Act 2. This is where he was struggling. You use her here because this is anemo weakness, so you deal 400% damage. Oh no, not her, not her. Her, slot that in, that. Does she even need a support? Whatever. Can I do this without supports? Wait. Where's the dog? Fuck it, just slap whatever. Go. Now then. No demon wedge. Solo. Look how much damage he's doing. 20k with no demon wedge. She one-shots. No skill damage, no nothing. I mean, she has skill damage from the weapons, but like everyone has that. There you go. Trial 1 cleared. Let's go next. Literally. Instead of just building a completely new character from scratch, wasting your resources, you can just use her to clear. You can just use her to clear. How is that bad and garbage advice? You are literally using her as a support already. That means you've leveled her up, leveled her skill. You just need to put the appropriate demon wedges on her, and she can function as a DPS. Just for this. Because here's the thing, right? The guy called my advice garbage just because she doesn't carry you to Immortal Repertoire, which is not what the guy asking for advice is for. The guy asking for the advice wants to get Psyche, but he's struggling on clearing this stage. So I gave you advice that's suitable for the current stage he's in. And here's the thing, right? I didn't even shit or told his advice was garbage to build Outsider. But his shit talking mine just because Truffle is supposed to be a support. Brother, she's support. Dude, if her combat partner just uses Truffle's ult, if her combat partner just uses Truffle's ult, it would be a completely different thing. Oh no, I don't have Serenity. What am I gonna do? Well, her ult is very lasts very long. There we go. Done. That's it. What? What was so hard about that? What was so hard about that?